Tanse Adventurers, I'm Todd Lyons, and today I just thought we would look at a tool that I found really useful when I was developing content for the basic fantasy role playing game. I hadn't written a module or adventure. I still think module because that's the old parlance from 1980s, 70s, and 80s. They called them the adventure that you would buy prepackaged, ready to go. Anyway, while it is super nice to have free books from Basic Fantasy, the field guide, volumes 1 through 3, number 1 in print right now, it can be kind of useful to have like an electronic version online with that are searchable, so that if you're looking for something specific, you don't necessarily have to see, well, which field guide is that monster in. And I accidentally, well, some like months ago, last year, I guess, I came across this website, the free Bestiary. And this is done by Clay Davis, address claydavis.gitlab.io/osr-bestiary. And it's a really good tool. The people at the project weren't familiar with it, so some time ago I posted it there. And technically, I guess it's in violation of our rights, even though we have an open source project. As I've said in an earlier video, I think, the art is something that is specifically licensed to Chris Gonnerman for publication in these books, but the text, if you want to take the text and remix it into your own format, such as this really useful, valuable tool, you can't take the pictures. You don't have the rights to those. Anyway, all that to say, Chris has been in contact with Clay. I think Clay signed up for an account, and at some point, maybe this or a copy of this may actually be rolled into being an official product. But I got a lot of use out of this, and I was sort of happy to share. So right now, this only has monsters from the core book and from the Basic Fantasy Field Guides 1 and 2, but very, very useful. So starting from Bestiary/BFRPG, if you can remember part of the name of a monster, this is a good way of figuring out, well, specifically what is that called, and just keep typing stuff until you guess correctly. Or, this is an interesting thing that Clay has done, is he's actually put little categories, little tags on different kinds of monsters, and some of them have multiple tags. So you could just click through on a tag, and it'll bring up everything that falls under that same category of monsters. Shapechanger, that's interesting. How many things fall under the category of shapechanger? And there we go. We've got doppelganger, and the various lycanthropes: werebear, wereboar, wererat, weretiger, werewolf. And the reason that's so handy is that rather than just purely picking random monsters, it makes sense when you're designing an adventure. See, I'm really trying to use the modern words. I just want to say module. That you can very easily find monsters that seem like they should all fit together, belong in the same physical space, or the same region, because it just seems really strange in a completely randomized environment where you see something and you wonder, well, why would this type of monster or species coexist in a space that's adjacent to this group of monsters? And for any category that I can think of, whether it's the shapechangers or undead. What if you want to just have a list of all the undead creatures and think, well, which are the ones that specifically I'm interested in? Okay, here's the list of everything, and then just whittle that down till you're looking at the ones that are level appropriate for the level of adventure that you're creating. So, elementals, there you go. I haven't done any searching yet. So far, I'm just obsessing about the tags, because I think the tagging is a nice value-added thing that Clay has added to this list of monsters. It's just being able to click and see, well, there's everything. I don't know that this. Well, I can see from the copyright date that it's not maybe up to 4th edition, where we've done some rejigging of the total monsters, and then specifically which monsters are in in the core book as opposed to other locations. We've done a bit of shuffling around, but it's so neat to be able to just see everything at the same time. Or, okay, flying, different kinds of flying creatures. What if you're trying to make an airborne adventure or something that's going to have part of the encounters are going to be off the ground? What kinds of things would you encounter up in the sky? There you go. But I mostly found it interesting because my memory is kind of poor, to be able just to sort of type in things that I partially remember and think, well, what the heck is that thing called? Let's just type some random words in and see, okay, eye. So I was thinking of an eye creature that has some intellectual property rights associated with it from the company that created the thing that has the name. But you may be able to copyright a name and some very specific descriptions that, but one thing that you can't do is the concept is something that you can always describe slightly differently in your own words with your own name. And here's an example of one of those things, the Great Orb of Eyes. So that doesn't look exactly like the thing that I remember from back in the day, but it's a pretty good approximation, and it has, if you look down here, it has various abilities associated with different eyes. So from death, dreading, fear, charm, hold, and blinding. Anyway, so there you go. Whether you're using it through the tag function, through the search function, or you just want to sort of have a list of everything that's in the core book and in field guides 1 and 2, it's just a really handy way of searching around for things. Anyway, let's put a pin on it there. Absolutely. I'm gonna link this in the description, and I think you should check this out. A lot of fun, a lot of use.